A garden is not for show. Today on Fortitude through Stoicism, and this is my 365-day journey of implementing the ancient philosophy of Stoicism into the life of this modern masculine man. So I just spent the 13th consecutive night in a different bed, and I would have to say, without this constant repetition of pouring and focusing on Stoicism, I honestly don't know how I would have made the last run. I've had a lot of stuff personally hit me, and it's been a grind professionally lately. Man, I'm in the trenches for sure. So I often, or recently, have been conflicted about another lecture I heard talking about Stoicism as a coping mechanism. Oddly, in this case, it seems to have been exactly just that, in addition to guidelines for better living. I guess it has been a coping mechanism, if I'm honest. So today is interesting because I often talk about a garden, the mindset garden. I talked about it yesterday. Epictetus brings up an interesting point. First practice not letting people know who you are. Keep your philosophy to yourself for a bit. In just the manner that fruit is produced, the seed is buried for a season, hidden, growing gradually, so that it may come to full maturity. But if the grain sprouts before the stalk is fully developed, it will never ripen. That is the kind of plant that you are, displaying fruit too soon, and the winter will kill you. What exactly is he saying here? Is he saying, oh, we should not practice Stoicism until we've mastered it? So I have some perspectives on this. Ryan Holiday says, after all of you've read, it might be tempting to think, this stuff is great. I'm a Stoic. I get it. It's not that easy. For example, just because I believe in Stoicism, it does not mean that I'm there. Case in point, had a little fit last night. Took it out on the Avis car. Truthfully, I am in a daily struggle adhering and implementing these principles. I'm being completely honest, and this has been a focus of my life for now 9.5, going on 10 months. 10 months I've been working on this. The seeds of Stoicism are long underground. Do the work required to nurture and tend them, so that they and you are prepared and sturdy for a hard winter to come. So I have different takes on this, right? And again, this is the consistency, right? This is what we're talking about. Some people grow their gardens to impress their neighbors. Some people grow their gardens to feed a family. Which one is a more pure and profitable use of your time and energy? It's a question. So how does all this translate to real life? Like, let's hit the rubber hits the road here. Doing the work. If you're doing it for show, you're not really getting the benefit of the work, right? If it's all about show and it's just about impressing people, you're not going deep enough in yourself. You're not pushing yourself. And I contend that your why is misguided. So how can you have the longevity required to produce good fruit, right? Consistency. Much of what I do, it's the old iceberg. Above the water, people see the tip of the iceberg. But what they don't see is all of the work below the water, right? They see the tip, they see the success, but they don't see all the work that goes into building that success. People want the rewards, but they don't want the work. They want to show up for the success party, but they don't want to be there for the struggle party. This is true. This is true for most people in themselves. This is true for people who are your friends. I'll tell you, you know who your people are when you're struggling. You know who your people are when you're struggling. Because the ones that are your people step up. And the ones that are not your people make it harder for you, or they abandon you. So that's why your garden has to be about you. It's a sad truth in this life that the more love there is, there will be equal and opposite hurt and pain from that love. There is a natural balance in the universe. And I have been in discussion with a close friend of mine about this very topic for quite a while now. And what I've realized is, because I'm displaying avoidant behavior apparently, the reason is I love so deeply. And I realize that the more I've done for people, and the more that I've given of myself to people, the more that love is hurt. So the question we ask ourselves is, do we avoid that love? Do we put that inner fortress around our garden, like we talked about yesterday? Or, and we're talking about a different way to pray, maybe that was yesterday, they all blend. Instead of perhaps asking for peace, maybe ask for more strength to deal with the chaos. That's the lesson, right? That's what we're taught. Asking for the wrong things. If we ask for different things, maybe we change our mindset, maybe we change our perspective, and maybe we get those things. So, when I look at my garden, in the beginning, I shared a lot more for accountability. It's because of my profile. People think I was bragging, showing off. No, motherfuckers. No, I was holding myself accountable. Because if I put it out publicly, I'm going to do it. Because I don't want to be embarrassed with not following through on something I said I was going to do. My character is too important to me. My garden is mine. It's because the more I tend that garden, the better version of myself that appears. When I look at my current situation, and again, I'm not complaining. We're taught Stoics don't complain, but I'm also a realist, so I look at the reality, right? I've had struggles with my children, with my father, boo-hoo who hasn't. You know, financially, I'm a fucking hurricane victim now, I guess, apparently, which I refuse to be a victim. So I'm looking for the opportunity. I'm looking for the silver lining. But I know that my garden is important. I know that the strength of my mindset is important. And it's okay when you're struggling. Talking to my friend, she said it's okay to be angry. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to fucking cry. The emotions are real. You can't ignore them. I acknowledge them, understand them. And so I don't want to hear Stoics don't cry. I did in the peace and safety of my hotel room. But it did not affect my mission, right? The next morning I was ready to roll out the wire, suit and briefcase in hand. Just like I'm about to do again. 13 consecutive nights I've been in a different bed. Oof, that's a run. So the one point about this is keeping your philosophy for yourself. It's hard for me because I'm sharing my philosophy right now. But again, this is not for views. This is not for people to subscribe or like or to follow me. I never asked for that stuff. I know the girls put some shit on the screen, but that's what they do. I'm not asking for that. This is an individual journey. This is me sharing my philosophy, and also so that I can rewatch and challenge my philosophy. This is a marathon, and that's really what we're talking about here. If you tend your garden to impress your neighbors, you're going to fail. If you consistently tend your garden to produce fruit for you and yours, that's an entirely different why. That's an entirely different reason. That's an entirely different motivation and discipline. So for me, I am preparing for the hard winter ahead. And on that, it's time to get in the shower.